Hello, this presentation will cover common Bluetooth vulnerabilities and attacks and solutions to said vulnerabilities. Bluetooth is a short-range wireless service that allows devices to be paired together in order to transfer data. Due to the relatively weak security features inherent in Bluetooth, a user can be compromised in any number of ways. One common attack is what's known as blue snarfing. Blue snarfing is using Bluetooth to access another user's device without their permission with the intent of capturing data, some of which can be very compromising. One solution to this problem would be to partition a device's system files away from the area that the OEFTP service has access through the use of permissioning. Bluetooth protocol can also be updated to include detection of the brute force attacks that commonly lead to blue snarfing. Bluejacking is another attack that is very similar to blue snarfing, but it takes it a step further by sending and receiving SMS messages without the user's authorization. This can be prevented by using what's known as elliptical curve encryption to make it much harder for a malicious user to perform a man-in-the-middle attack, and it will allow for better verification of senders and receivers of messages. Another common vulnerability is location security. Location security is the use of Bluetooth in order to track a user's location by variously pinging it as it goes from one place to another. This will allow a malicious user to track said individual. One solution would be to improve the current encryption used in Bluetooth protocol, but a much better solution would be for users to completely turn off their Bluetooth when it's not in use, which will enable them to protect themselves from this sort of passive attack. While location security may not sound that bad on the surface, it can be very compromising when someone knows your routine and schedule. Another possible attack is what's known as hijacking of beacons. Bluetooth beacons are geographically localized, powerful Bluetooth transmitter that pushes information to all devices in the area that give it authorization. This can be used to deny service to the devices in the area. It can alter the functionality of paired devices if proper authentication is given previously. And it can also be used to disseminate worms to devices that are traveling through the beacon's area, which then can disseminate themselves even further once it is out of the beacon's range, thereby increasing the area of disruption. One solution to this would be a public key encryption, which would take place between the user's device and the beacon that's broadcasting. It would require a handshake for every session initiated, and it would also encrypt the messages in order to prevent any sort of man-in-the-middle attacks and allow the users to verify the integrity and authenticity of the supposed beacon that they are connected to. One challenging aspect of these solutions would be the wide-scale dissemination of proposed encryption updates, such as elliptical encryptions and the like, because it is entirely dependent on the user to update their device. And if not every device uses this, it may not be compatible between devices, which will render it useless if every party in the communication does not have the updated encryptions. Another aspect of these solutions that can be very challenging is consumer education. Many people are open to Bluetooth-style attacks because they don't even know about or think about Bluetooth on their device. Either they do not think to turn it off, or they do not even know how to go about doing so, and this can leave them in a very vulnerable situation. Another challenging aspect of the solution for blue snarfing is ensuring the proper partitioning of the system files from the OETFP surface area, because the architecture for each mobile device can be very different, and this partitioning method would have to be variable enough to be able to be applied properly to every possible device that can have compromised information. And if it's not done properly, it could potentially deny permission to a system file that needs it or doesn't need it, or it could end up leaving vulnerable files inside the OETFP service area, which would render this solution pointless. To sum it up, Bluetooth is incredible technology with a variety of uses and millions of users. Some of the long-term solutions to make it more secure and to cover the previously stated attacks would be changes and updates to the encryption, prevention of manipulation to the broadcasting power of places such as beacons and such, so their services may not be extended beyond the initial defined area. And it will also take some time, though, to implement a more secure encryption, ergo the elliptical curve encryption, because this has to be tested and used across all devices and disseminated to said devices. But the most important aspect of this entire thing is basic consumer education, because if the users of these devices do not know that they are vulnerable and do not know what steps they could or need to take to address these issues, all this is a moot point. Thank you for listening. Have a wonderful day.